We tall, putty tat, coming to you from Roselle, New Jersey and Sylvesterland Field. Hello, everybody. It is Lehigh Valley Storm football on the air, well, at least shall we say, the pre-online footage on the air at this time. Or the Lehigh Valley Storm, 7-1 a season, take on the New Jersey Longhorns here from Roselle, New Jersey. Your DJ Crazy Tom is with you. I'll be joined by JJ in just a couple of moments. Unfortunately, we're trying to deal with some technical issues here, but the Storm, of course, whom have not played at home since August 23rd, they're on the road for the third consecutive week, technically, after finally playing for basically the first time in 4 weeks and having to struggle before finally getting their game going and defeating the Central Jersey Vikings by a score of 34-7. Meanwhile, for the New Jersey Longhorns, this is a very important game for them. They lost 34-24 on the road last week to the Brooklyn Mariners out in Sheepshead Bay, and this is going to be a huge game for the Longhorns because this will really determine seeding position. Now, the Longhorns, of course, they have a 5-4 record, but of course the loss last week to Brooklyn kind of set them back a little bit. Well, we do know this much, and JJ will join me shortly to kind of recap what's going on for our online audience. The Lehigh Valley Storm will get the ball first. We're actually broadcasting on the Storm side of the field, except we're positioned at about the 10-yard line. So the Storm look like they're going to get the ball first. I'm not sure who wanted to toss, if it's the Longhorns that wanted to toss, and they refused to the second half, and that's why the Storm are receiving the football. The Storm got the football to begin this past week. And for those of you that are listening now online, courtesy of lvstormfootball.com and Storm Radio, welcome aboard. Lehigh Valley Storm football on the air just in the nick of time as they take on the New Jersey Longhorns here from Roselle, New Jersey. Once again, your DJ Crazy Tom with JJ James Josephson. He'll be joining me in just a second. The Storm 7-1 this season, the Longhorns 5-4, and of course a very important game for them considering the Longhorns lost 34-24 to the Brooklyn Mariners last week. Now, we of course had to do a couple of little changes and stuff like that, so JJ is now joining me now. The referee blows his whistle, and folks, we're very happy we got the stuff done just in the nick of time. So thank you for hanging in there with us here at 7:17 in the PM. Referee blows his whistle and approaching the tee, and here we go. Kickoff is underway. It's a short one, and it's a one-hopper. That looks like Travis King will rush to the 20, to the 30. He springs out and goes down to about the 40, almost loses the football in the process. They're saying the ball be spotted at the 42-yard line, and the Storm will start work from there with quarterback Jimmy Lehigh. Now, bring JJ in there, and obviously he's the technical guy. I know nothing about wires. He does. What's your key to the game here?
It has to be ball security. In my opinion, last week the Storm had 4 fumbles. Fortunately, they recovered 2 of them, and this defense for the New Jersey Longhorns loves to create turnovers, so ball security is definitely the key for the Storm.
Indeed, we discussed that. Of course, you discussed that with me on Thursday night's show with the Storm, of course, again, things set. Jimmy Lehigh, quarterback here, as the ball is spotted at the 42-yard line. We're going to try and do the best we can from where we're positioned here at the 10-yard line, and only 2 rows up on the bleachers. First and 10 for the 42-yard line. Raheem Ridley now lines up behind Jimmy Lehigh in a pistolero. Devon Gordon to the left. It looks like a 3 wide slot to the right situation. Now Yusef Reddick going in motion. Here's a snap. Jimmy Lehigh back. He's gone. He'll throw deep left side. Pass just outside and a little high out of the hands of Yusef Reddick and incomplete. So a little bit too much mustard for Reddick to catch up. Relish that thought.
Yeah, exactly. And Yusef Reddick last week had a huge game. He had a punt return for a touchdown. Also had a 11-yard reception in the third quarter. But quarterback Jimmy Lehigh is going to look to get his wide receivers in, and especially Devon Gordon.
And yes, Devon Gordon, a very quiet game last week, and that's where Jaleel Clark and Yusef Reddick really stepped up in a big way in the Storm's 34-7 win. Second and 10 for the 42. It's a handoff. Raheem Ridley has a hole up the middle. He's still running, and it looks like he crosses midfield and gets to maybe about the 45-yard line. And Evidently, one of the Longhorns took quite a block and is down on the field, and that man happens to be number 31, Junior Darius, who took quite a hit along the block, and he's laying on his back right now. And I'm sure I had to look behind me to see where my stuff went, but they're going to attend to the injured player. So while we have a couple of moments, a couple other thoughts, of course, last week going into this, JJ.
Well, last week the Storm came out, and they struggled a little bit in the first half. Obviously, that had to do with Russ, but the game plan for today's game is definitely to come out and just hit them harder and not have the first half problems that they had last week.
And, of course, that was one of the big reasons why the Storm, if they didn't even score an offensive touchdown in the first half, the lone touchdown was on special teams on Reddick's 70-yard punt return for a touchdown. Junior Darius being helped off the field. He took quite a hit and had the wind knocked out of him, so he'll leave for a play at least, and the Storm will have the ball. It looks to be at about the 43-yard line, so Ridley was able to gain 15 yards and get a first down and move the chain. So, by the way, just so you know, Pepsi, the proud sponsor of Lehigh Valley Storm football. Pepsi, live for now. And I don't know what their new slogan is. I heard this on the Jets broadcast, all in for football or something. Well,
I didn't hear it myself. I thought it was live for now, but
it still is live for now. We'll leave. Right. Well, just go to Pepsi.com and see what's trending. That's all I can tell you. Anyway, with other sponsors too involved with LV Storm football, you're listening, of course, here on Storm Radio and Hot101.net. First and 10, the Storm with a lot of movement going on the line. They're at the Longhorn 43-yard line. Now in motion, looks like Michael Thomas still left. It's going to be an inside handoff. That's Sean Mayers. Mayers going to try and be caught from behind, and he is down about the 40, and a late flag comes down. Could that be a horse collar?
Yeah, I think it was a horse collar or a face mask there, but this defense loves to fly to the ball. Number 11, Yusuf Reddick, had a nice block on the outside there.
They're ruling a major face mask. It's another 15 yards, and the Storm will have first down at the 25-yard line. By the way, you can check in if you're listening to our broadcast. Hashtag Storm Radio on Facebook. Again, hashtag Storm Radio on Facebook. Of course, my message will be on there with this game between the Lehigh Valley Storm and the New Jersey Longhorns. So, following will look to be about a 15-yard gain on the play to the 25. It's to the 40-yard line. Add a major face mask at 15 yards, and here are the Storm. First and 10. It looks like they're going to be close to the 20-yard line. Of course, we can't see the yard markers. From our vantage point, of course, the field does not have a press box, so we're just doing the very best we can with what we got here. So first and 10 from about the 24. Back goes like he's going to take it himself. He'll cross the 20, has a hole to the 10, and he slides down just short of the end zone, probably to about the 7. So Jimmy calls his own number out. Remember, last week was the first time in several weeks he didn't score a rushing touchdown. So I guess trying it from 24 yards out might be a little much, but he puts him inside the 10 for first and goal.
Yeah, that's some big yardage picked up there, and a great call from the sideline on the quarterback draw.
Now the key is, can they score on their opening drive? Last week they went for it on fourth and goal from the 4, and that completely backfired in more than one way. First and goal. Here's a handoff. Raheem Ridley tackled nicely from behind at about the 8-yard line, brought down very nicely by, it looks to be, I think it was Craig Pitts, who came from behind and was able to cause him to, I believe, lose a yard to about the 9.
Yeah, this defense is real good. They've only allowed 10 points all season per game, so this is definitely a real good defense, and the Storm are stringing together some nice plays and a big penalty to start off this football game.
Well, now what they need to do is take advantage. Remember, they had the ball to open the game, and unfortunately, they were not able to put it in the end zone. Let's see what they can do here with Ridley as the lone setback. He had a very tough game last week, but he showed his muscle in the second half. And the pistol arrow, second and goal, we'll say, from about the 9. High snap. Lehigh will roll to his right, throw the pass. It's caught by Reddick, and he's going to walk in! Welcome to the end zone! Soldier boy himself, Yusuf Reddick. I said it last week, I'll say it again. Yusuf Reddick rolls around to the right, pops it in from a 9-yard score, and the Storm don't make the same mistake twice. They open the scoring here in Roselle.
Yep, Jimmy Lehigh found Yusuf Reddick, number number 11, right on a little out route, and he's continuing his scoring spree. He had the punt return and touchdown. That's another one right there, and a great drive to open up this game.
I have to ask for permission to see if we can use that name. Yeah. Well, just because of his name? Yes, exactly.
He doesn't mind it.
We'll have to check in with him on that one. But anyway, that's his third touchdown in less than 4 quarters, and his second on the offensive pass list, and that one was to the right compared to the left the last time. Here's the snap and the extra point on its way. Bobby Eppelman puts it through, and the early part of the first quarter, the Lehigh Valley Storm, they're fired up. They made sure they scored in their opening drive. They lead 7-0 over the New Jersey Longhorns.
And that's exactly what they needed to do, is go down early on and score points, especially struggling the first half last week, and a team that only gives up 10 points. So they definitely came out and followed the game plan, got quarterback Jimmy LeHue involved, and a great way to start this football game.
You're absolutely right, JJ, and got to consider how the Storm actually did it. They did, of course, a major face mask penalty along the way, a couple nice runs. Raheem Ridley had one, and then, of course, LeHue, he had another one as well. Just to give you a sponsor list in regards to the Lehigh Valley Storm, not only are we sponsored by Pepsi, we also have A&H Sporting Goods, Schrudy's Pub and Restaurant, the Scott family of dealerships, which includes the Scott Lot, Scott Chevrolet, Scott Mazda, and Scott Volvo, the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, which is celebrating 50 years of excellence. Of course, GoCSB.com is the website, or call toll-free 800 TV Radio for more details. Also by State Farm Insurance, Blackman Cycle Center, Kula Children's Center, Buca di Beppo Italian Restaurant, Philly Pretzel Factory, Amato Family Chiropractic, and of course, HSG Productions. Howard Gaber, of course, behind that, because you gotta understand, it's when you're ready to take your game film to the next level. Now, what do you do if you want to take your game audio to the next level? That's another question.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I missed that one. I'm sorry about that.
Sorry, I'm all over the place here, but Storm kickoff team ready to come out and do what they've done. They have a ton of real good athletes for the Longhorns. So
yeah, most definitely. As a matter of fact, Donnell Williams is back for the kickoff, and Eppelman is probably going to send it in his direction. That or Thomas Griffin. He'll take it about the 2. He's going to run to the left side. He's slowed up. He's going to try and run around to get the 15, crossing the 20 to the 30, and that's where he is shoved out of bounds. They're going to say probably the 27-yard line is where the Longhorns are going to start. So the Longhorns, who are led, I believe, by their, it looks like their quarterback is T.J. Brown, number 7.
Number 7, yeah.
Yes, he's the one that's going to try and lead the Longhorns to some offensive prowess here. But I think one of the biggest things to remember is, in a game where ball security is so important, the Longhorns obviously can't turn the ball over.
Absolutely, and they love to force turnovers, but so do we. So our defense loves to fly to the ball, and creating turnovers and be something that has a lot of effect on this football game.
Okay, so the New Jersey Longhorns, of course, are going to be starting at about, I'm going to say, the 26-yard line. And it's funny because I broadcasted a game almost in these same circumstances. I think it was like 2007 in the Frankfurt section of Philadelphia. They were doing a little bit of an interleague all-star game, and it ended 7-0. And the game went 58 minutes without a score. But anyway, high snap, and taking his on a deep ball and incomplete. I don't know. It looked like it was going to be one of those gadget plays, and they went to Rob Wright on end around. He tried to throw it all the way down to Darryl Giles, but it went 10 feet over his head, incomplete. An interesting design to start the game, but didn't work.
Yeah, I think they wanted to come out and just hit him right back after going down 7-0, something that they're not really used to so far in this season. But the Storm secondary is going to have to stay on top of their toes. The quarterback, he throws a nice ball every now and then, but they have a ton of weapons out on the outside.
Well, the center obviously has to do a better job snapping the ball, because that almost went over Brown's head, but I think it may have been intentionally done. Oh, I see, it's number 6 might be T.J. Brown. But anyway, 2nd and 10. Here's the snap. He's going to take it himself, and he's going to run it. He will get to about the 30, and then the Storm pursuit pushes him out of bounds at about the 31, so probably a 4-yard gain and a 3rd and 6 coming up.
Yeah, just showing some athleticism, getting to the edge there and picking up some yards and making a more manageable 3rd down for the New Jersey Longhorns.
Yeah, they're going to say, actually, it looks like a gain of 6 to about the 33, so 3rd and 4. I know we're talking pretty much ahead of the microphone. Hopefully it's catching what we're saying.
Text my friend.
So we're just trying to get some audio things up here. Just a quick reminder, of course, you're listening to Lehigh Valley Storm Football, of course, on our website, lvstormfootball.com, and Storm Radio here on hot101.net. 3rd and 4, ball spot at the 33-yard line for TJ Brown. I believe he's wearing number 6 today. He'll take the snap, go back, quick throw left side, and that is incomplete. Evidently, their receiver went the wrong way, and a case of miscommunication. So, following 2 incompletions and a little bit of a run in the middle, the Longhorns will end up going 3 down, punt away to the Storm.
Yep, a big third down stop there for this Storm defense, but watch out for number 11, a guy, Yusuf Reddick, who already has a touchdown so far in this game and a huge punt return touchdown last week.
Okay, so now on 4th down, we're going to see what happens here as we're going to bring the punter in late. So late substitution for the special teams. Yusuf Reddick, who of course returned the punt 70 yards for a touchdown in the second quarter against the Central Jersey Vikings last Saturday, basically started the Storm turnaround and comeback and whatnot. He's standing at about the 30-yard line. A ground ball snap gets by the punter, and he's going to have to run, and he has a punt block, and it's going to be run in. It's a touchdown. It's welcome to the end zone, I believe, but I don't know who blocked it.
Mike Kuzer, 44.
Oh, what else is new? Mike Kuzer, the cruiser. The man recovers fumbles. The man blocks kicks. The man just knows how to score at the right place at the right time. Sounds like the Eagles' defense and special teams at the same time. So the New Jersey Longhorns, whom you said have only given up 10 points a game, have now given up 48 in a matter of 4.5 quarters.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously last week they let up that 24, and then Storm coming out. That's back-to-back special teams touchdowns for the Lehigh Valley Storm. They're really doing what they have to do at the special team as part of the game.
And you have to understand, a horrendous snap to the punter, and the guy trying to get out of the way and to have it blocked. And it was an easy touchdown from there. Here's the extra point, snap, kick, and on its way through for Bobby Appleman. So not even 6-7 minutes into the game, and the Lehigh Valley Storm very quickly up 14-0 over the New Jersey Longhorns. Oh.
I was going to read a couple sponsors.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so a couple sponsors for today's game. We have Pepsi, A&H Sporting Goods, Schrudy's Pub and Restaurant, Scott Family Dealership, Scott Lott, Scott Chevrolet, Scott Mazda, and Scott Volvo, Connecticut School of Broadcasting celebrating 50 years of excellence, State Farm Insurance, Blackman Cycle Center, Kula Children's Center, Philly Pretzel Factory, and HSG Productions.
Yes, indeed, and Howard's actually broadcasting a game on the Longhorn side of the field. Just so you know, the Storm, of course, wearing their all-black uniforms with black helmets and the white numbers, white trimmer along the side of their pants. Some people, of course, are wearing their pink towels and socks and what have you. Yes, we know for the Pink Being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we remind you, of course, to think pink. You can hashtag think pink as well. Just remember, folks, Think Pink is a registered trademark of women's fraternity Zeta Tau Alpha. Check them out at ZetaTauAlpha.org. All right, Bobby Appleman will kick this out, and I have to do this so that way they know this is a registered trademark.
I did, just good news, I did just get a confirmation. My friend who's listening said he's getting it loud and clear, so that's something good to hear.
Excellente. Bobby Appleman will go ahead and kick things off here. He will approach the tee and kick this off. He'll head to the left, and it looks like it'll be returned and dropped right at the goal line. Gentleman picks it up. He'll move it to about the 10, spin move, and ends up slipping by another tackle and just barely gets to maybe the 20-yard line. So at least a lucky, I don't know if I can say a lucky return, but a fortunate return to almost the touchback line, and the New Jersey Longhorns pretty deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
Yeah, so the Storm defense is going to come out and look to do exactly what they did, a 3-and-out on the first possession of this football game, and just fly to the ball and create turnovers and do what they do best, and this is the number one defense right now in the MLF, so that's what I'm expecting against a struggling Longhorn team in the past 2 games.
Yeah, indeed. So we'll run down there what they've done so far this year. Of course, the Longhorns, they were a little bit higher in stature compared to the Central Jersey Vikings as we went in last week. Now remember, this is the middle of the 3-game stretch. Next week, we're right back here in Roselle when the Storm play the New Jersey Bravehearts. So that's going to be a very important game for both sides as well. Anyway, First and 10 as T.J. Brown takes the center, a man in motion on the right, and back he goes for a pass. No, it's actually a handoff up the middle, and not very much, maybe a couple to the 21-yard line. And so I'll make it 2nd and 8.
Yeah, it looked like another center back quarterback exchange, and that's something that happened on the first play and then happened now and also happened on that punt. So that's something that this New Jersey Longhorn football team needs to address definitely on the sideline next time they're over there.
All right, it'll be 2nd and we'll say... Actually, it was actually a loss of 3 on the play. So back to the 16-yard line it is. So 2nd and 13 now for the New Jersey Longhorns, as they have had a little bit of a rough start. They won 3 and out, 2 incompletions, and of course a blocked punt recovered by Mike Kuzer in for a score. Now flags are down as Brown goes back, a handoff up the middle, gets into about the 21, but let's see what this flag is all about.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't really see anything there. Maybe illegal formation.
It's likely. Let's see what the official says here. It's hard to make a prognostication when you have so much beef blocking the, well, let's say, blocking the lines here. It's actually offside against the Storm, so it's a free 5, and it'll be 2nd and 8.
And this is a defense that doesn't really commit too many penalties so far throughout 8 games so far this season. So a little mishap there for Storm defense.
All right, so move it up 5 and to about the 20, we'll say 22-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8, or 21 rather. It'll be 2nd and 8 now from the 21-yard line for C.J. Brown and company here. Looks like he'll go under center with a single back to the left-hand side. Brown takes a snap and a good one. A quick throw, pass is caught along the left side, crossing the 20, crossing the 30. That should be enough for a first down. That was a nice slant play. Couldn't tell who received that ball, but it looked like it was good enough to move the chains. I think it was Kenny Prillo who was able to make the catch.
Yeah, and you could hear right now the offense is hooting and hollering a little bit, and also the sideline of the Longhorns. They definitely want to string together a couple nice plays and put together a nice drive and try and get themselves on the board.
All right, so 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line, it looks like, for the New Jersey Longhorns. Remember, we're broadcasting from the opposite 10-yard line, so we're going to have some very interesting angles to describe to you. So if they come to us, we may have the best broadcast of the day the way it's looking, or at least for that segment.
As long as the sideline doesn't come in front of us.
Well, who knows? Anyway, back goes Brown. He's going to roll to his right. He's being chased. Reverses direction. Has some time. He's going to air it deep on the left side. Double coverage, and it is caught! Nicely caught by the receiver, number 19, Darryl Giles, all the way down to guess where? The 10-yard line.
Right in front.
59-yard pass in double coverage, beautifully thrown by Brown. It is 1st and goal, it looks like, for the Longhorns. So a huge pass play against what is a good Storm secondary.
And it looked like the Storm defensive line almost got to the quarterback, T.J. Brown, but he just said, I'm going to air it out and let my wide receiver do the work, and he went up and grabbed the football and came down with an unbelievable catch right in front of us.
That was really fantastic. But so now it's going to be 1st and goal as the ball is, with the nose of the ball, spotted right at the 10-yard line. So considering that the Longhorns, if they are to get 10 yards, the nose will break the plane and they'll end up scoring. They're down 14-0, so this is a huge set of downs here as C.J. Brown will take the snap in the shotgun, handoff up the middle, has a hole, and crashes to about the 8. That's about it. Good penetration by the Storm defense. They're going to say a gain of 1, so 2nd and goal from the 9, as that was number 17, Tamir Houston's tight end. He was providing the block on the play.
Yeah, and the big gut right now of the Lehigh Valley Storm middle guys, Joe Peters and Orrin Marshman, just stuffed them right in the middle for a gain of 1. So they're looking to have a big stop here in the red zone.
Okay, so 2nd and goal now from the 9-yard line as the New Jersey Longhorns, they're in their blue uniforms, white numerals, white helmets, white shoulder pads, white pants, a few people with pink shoes. What else is new? 2nd and goal from the 9. C.J. Brown, he's in the shotgun. Single setback to the left of him and a receiver on each side. Brown takes a snap. He's under a rush. Here comes Kuzer. Deep throw off his back heel and incomplete. It was intended for Donnell Williams, the receiver, and he was being blanketed that time by Jaron Elder, but that's just what happens when Mike Kuzer is able to make the pressure there, forces you to throw early and not make it accurate.
Yeah, number 44, the outside linebacker for the Storm, Mike Kuzer, is all over the place, and once again showing why he's one of the really talented guys on this defense, just putting pressure on the quarterback and forcing him to overthrow it out of bounds.
Okay, so 3rd and goal coming up from the 9-yard line of the Lehigh Valley Storm. And we'll see what the Longhorns decide to do here.
Right.
They're going to line up in a 3-wide slot to the right that time. The slot is Donnell Williams. Brown has a single setback to the left. This is going to be a very important 3rd and goal here. Brown with the snap, looks, quick slant, passes, caught. Williams could hang on to it though, incomplete. And waiting for him with the hit was Phil Tucker, who was able to smack him right as Williams thought he had the ball. That was a timing play that worked well, but Tucker made sure he didn't catch it.
And that's what you're taught to do as a safety, just come up and hit right before, right as he's receiving the ball. And also, I just got word that number 6 is Rob Wright in the game right now at quarterback.
Rob Wright, I'm sorry, on 4th and goal, Wright has it. Fade round the right side and a pass over the head and incomplete. Intended for Darryl Giles. And the Longhorns turned the ball over on down, so Rob Wright is the one that's quarterbacking. I thought it was Brown.
Yeah, the 7 was Brown. I just got confirmation from the sideline there, but that's great coverage by number 4, Jaron Elder there, and just keeping his position and not letting the wide receiver come down with another great catch that he had before.
So what a big stop by the Lehigh Valley Storm as they force the Longhorns to turn the ball over on downs. You're listening to Lehigh Valley Storm football here at lvstormfootball.com, Storm Radio, and hot101.net. We're glad to have you here from Roselle, New Jersey. A little chilly here tonight. For the 3rd straight road game, there was morning or afternoon rain, and then the Lehigh Valley Storm showed up. Go figure. But anyway, the Storm will get it. 1st and 10 from their own 9-yard line as Jimmy LaHue will have it in the pistolero. Behind him is Sean Mayers. 3 wide, Devon Gordon standing on the near side. Now Michael Thomas goes in motion. They're going to hand it off to Mayers. He'll swing around the left side, and he'll get to about the 10. Still running, 14, 15-yard line before 3 Longhorns bring him down. Mayers able to gain 6 on the play. The tackle that time by Musa Kamara. But 2nd and 4 right to 15.
Yeah, they'd love to get these 2 guys involved early. 23, Sean Mayers, and also 29, Raheem Ridley, and that's the monster duo running back for the Storm. So getting them involved early is something important for their game plan to work.
You're absolutely right. 2nd and 4 from the 15-yard line, again to Pistolero. They line up again. It looks like, I think, 3 receivers. Slot is Yusuf Reddick on the right-hand side. LaHue in the Pistolero with Mayers behind him. LaHue, high snap, and he hands off to Mayers. Has a hole on the right. He'll cross the 20, 25, still going, and plows his way to the 31-yard line. And oohs and ahs from the Storm sideline. A gain of 16, and the Storm moved the chains.
And that's the definition of how you're supposed to run hard as a running back. Raheem Ridley's giving Sean Myers a blow right now, but that's 2 plays in a row of great, real hard running from number 23, Sean Myers.
Indeed so, and the Storm leading 14-0. A touchdown reception for Yusuf Reddick from 9 yards out, and now a block punt for a touchdown for Mike Kuzer. So the offense and the special teams have gotten on the board here. 1st and 10, they're going to say the ball is at the 31-yard line. LaHue again to Pistolero. Michael Thomas in motion to the left-hand side. They snap it. This time Ridley is in the game. He'll push his way to about the 33-yard line. Nice tackle that time by Taquan Allen, the linebacker, forcing only a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, the Longhorns sent a blitz off the left side of the defense right there, and there was just too many guys to block, and that was a great play by number 10 for the New Jersey Longhorns, and a big play.
Okay, it'll be 2nd and 8, we'll say, from the 33-yard line. And it looks like right now, again, LaHue in the shotgun. Ridley will line up to his left. They're again lining 3 wide slot to the right, and it looks like Looks like Chris Brown is going to get the end around this time, and he will try and find a hole, but he's not going to get very much. He'll get to about the 36-yard line, only a gain of 1 before being taken down by Reuben Davis.
Yeah, 2 big plays for the Longhorn defense right now, and you know that on this third down they're going to try and come up with another big play and force a punt out of high-explosive Lehigh Valley Storm offense.
We understand Denny is checking in for, I believe, Staten Island, New York with this game, so crazy shouts to him. It'll be third, and we're going to say about 5 from the 36-yard line. This time it's going to be the Tribeca, if you want to call it that. Well, the team's not from Lower Manhattan, but then they split off of that, and it's going to be 4 receivers this time, 2 on each side. Raheem Ridley behind LeHue in the shotgun pistolero. LeHue taking his time, going to try and get the right play off here. 3rd and 5 from the 36. Here's the snap. Back goes LeHue. He'll reverse left. Throw to the left. Caught by Devon Gordon. He'll reverse his field and then take it down to about the 47, 48-yard line. Actually, they're going to say the midfield stripe. Gain of 15. We hadn't heard from Gordon all game last week. Okay, we owe you a little time, Devon. 15 yards and the Storm moved the chains.
And it's good to get him involved early on, but Raheem Ridley had a huge pickup, picking up the blitzing outside linebacker from the Longhorns.
Okay, 1st and 10. The Storm have the ball at the midfield stripe. Remember, they started from their own 9-yard line. Now they're going to line up a bunch of people. In particular, Chris White is lined up in a right slot. Devon Gordon lined up to the left. And they have Yusuf Reddick as a blocking back here along the left side of the offensive line, which, is rather peculiar. But anyway, the slot is Chris White in the right, 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, Ridley lining up to the left of Jimmy LeHue, who's in the shotgun, takes a snap, and he's going to give it to Ridley. Ridley will bounce off a couple of people and get to about the 46, a gain of 4 that time. He was brought down by James Wright, the defensive back.
And something also to noteworthy where 68 got injured last play. Barrington Floodgate, I think, for the Lehigh Valley Storms. Looks like another Storm player is down right now.
Yeah, we do have an injured Storm player. While we have a second, we have an injury timeout. It's Sean Hill on the offensive line trying to put some beef in, and I think he took a shot. It looks like he's holding his right knee. So while we have a second, just to let you know, we're pretty late in the first quarter, we'll say. It is 14-0 in favor of the Lehigh Valley Storm. Just to recap for those just joining us, opening drive, Storm drive down the field, 58 yards, several plays, got help with a 15-yard face mask penalty, and it turned out that the touchdown was a LeHue pass to Yusuf Reddick, who scored his 3rd touchdown in 2 games. Of course, 2 were on the passing side and 1, of course, on special teams. The other was a special teams touchdown, a block punt recovered for a touchdown by Mike Kuzer, and that's why the Storm had the 14-0 lead. They just held the Longhorns after a 59-yard pass to receiver Darryl Giles, which led them the Longhorns 1st and goal at the 10, but then they only got 1 more yard and they ended up turning the ball over on downs. So this is why the Storm have that 14-0 lead, and as they attend to Sean Hill, you can go ahead and land a couple of sponsors.
A couple of sponsors that I have for tonight's game are Pepsi, A&H Sporting Goods, Schrudy's Pub and Restaurant, located 1853 Northampton Street in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Scott Family Dealership, Scott Lott, Scott Chevrolet, Scott Mazda, and Scott Volvo. Connecticut School of Broadcasting, celebrating 50 years of excellence. State Farm Insurance, located in Emmaus, Pennsylvania. Ride with the #1 car insurer in PA. Blackman Cycle Center, Kula Children's Center, Philly Pretzel Factory, 809 Hamilton Street in Allentown, PA. Amato Family Chiropractic, located 2502 Schoonersville Road in Bethlehem, PA. The phone number is 610-882-2400. And HSG Productions, Howard Gaber, when you're ready to take your game film to the next level.
I'll tell you what, it's probably going to be a moment or two as they're helping Sean Hill up right now. By the way, just so you know, we had a lady come up and ask me about how Notre Dame did. Well, guess what? I did say as expected they would win, and they did, 50-43. Well, it goes without saying. But if you want another bizarre score, listen to this. TCU and Baylor. There's 3:13 left in the game, and it's a college basketball game. 58-58.
Wow. Not too much defense going on in that game.
Right. And in game 2 of the AL Championship Series, Kansas City and Baltimore 4-4 right now, and they're in the bottom of the 8th. So what I say when there's a tie in the bottom of the 8th, somebody's going to win their last at bat.
Yeah, so, top 10 yesterday. The Royals hit a home run and took the lead. They scored 3 in top 10 to beat the Orioles.
Two home runs by the Royals after they got held with the bases loaded, nobody out, not being able to score. But then the Orioles got their side struck out, and the Royals got the momentum back, and that was pretty much it. But in any case,
looks like it is the quarter.
You know what? We discussed all that, and it ended up being quarter time. So we switched sides unexpectedly. So after 14-0, Storm lead the New Jersey Longhorns. So we were discussing some things during a quarter time break. Oh, they don't tell us anything here. But anyway, we switched sides. It is second and about, we'll say 5, from about the 45 of the Longhorns as LeHue's in the shotgun formation. LeHue takes a snap. He's going to go play action. He's going to go deep. He's got Gordon right side, and he's caught it, and he's in! Welcome to the end zone! Making sure no flags are on the field like last week, but a 45-yard touchdown strike from Jimmy LeHue to Devon Gordon. Welcome back to the scoring category, my friend. His touchdown extends the lead for the Storm.
Well, safe to say, you could say the connection is back with number 10 and number 84, Devon Gordon, and that was a great catch, but it was an even better throw by Jimmy LeHue. He put it only where his receiver could get it, and Devon Gordon, who didn't have a reception last week, who was really double-teamed all game, already has a big third down and a huge touchdown catch to start off the second quarter.
By the way, the big game of the night, Mississippi State 38, Auburn 23. So Mississippi State will be the number 2 team in the nation. Florida State won their game 38-20 over Syracuse.
Wow.
So, well, then again, they're Syracuse.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's the extra point. Bobby Appleman will try a high snap. Kick on its way, and that sails off to Elizabeth. Kick is good. So early in the second quarter, what do you know? The Lehigh Valley Storm with a 21-0 lead over the New Jersey Longhorns. 2 touchdown passes by Jimmy LeHue. He went for broke, and he didn't break anything except Gordon broke the play of the end zone.
Yeah, safe to say they're continuing what they did last week in the second half of the football game. They're just coming out and they're playing great football right now and run the ball well. And LeHue obviously is back. He struggled a little bit, like I said before, in the first half, but he's coming out and he's throwing strikes all over the field tonight.
By the way, the only surprise in college football today, Georgia Tech home losing as the number 22 team, lost to Duke 31-25. You'd expect that for college basketball, but not college football.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Storm... I'm sorry.
I was going to say, Duke usually has not the best football team, but they usually have a good football team.
Well, they were one of the top ACC teams last year, so... Meanwhile, the Lehigh Valley Storm taking care of business. They've had pretty much 2 offensive drives, and they both resulted in 2 passing touchdowns, and that's why they have the 21-0 lead over the New Jersey Longhorns. They're looking pretty good. I'll tell you what, if anyone's thinking about rust, that was this time last Saturday. There's no rust on this team now.
No, the rust is gone, and the 10-84 connection is back with LeHue and Gordon, and they're just going to look at this game and say 0-0 and just go out and do what they have to do, and the kickoff team is going to come down and try and stop a couple weapons deep for the Longhorns.
Well, and speaking of the Longhorns, back there and trying to return is Kenny Prillo and Donnell Williams, who's standing along the far side of the field. Appleman about to get the signal to kick things off. We're going to see what happens here as Appleman... I think he tried to hook it a couple of times, but luckily it didn't go out of bounds. This one he kicks to the far side. Donnell Williams will let it bounce and say, you know what? You guys take it. Newark Airport, 45-minute arrival delays. It's in the end zone for a touchback.
That is true, and he caught a lucky break there that it was in the back of the end zone for a touchback and didn't go out of bounds, but everything looks like it's working out right now for the Storm.
Most certainly is, especially when we have 2 offensive drives in for scores, and of course a block punt recovered and scored by Mike Kuzer. That's why the Storm have that 21-0 lead. Now,
it's a little confusion. I don't know
if it's confusion or if there was a flag down that we may have missed, but we're going to have to see what the officials are discussing here. We thought the ball was going to be spotted at the 20-yard line, but there's a possibility the Storm might have been offside on the kickoff, but who knows? Well, while I think they got finished discussing, and We'll see if they re-kick or if the Longhorns take the option of the 5-yard penalty following the touchback. But they're giving the ball to the line people, and I have a feeling, I don't know what they're doing, but I mean, or did the ball go out of bounds and nobody told us? Because it didn't look like it did go out of bounds. I mean, no flag went out. I mean, I see. Way down the far side of the field around the 30-yard lines where the flag was. So I'm guessing there might have been some prognostications here. But my question is, why is the ball spotted on the 40-yard line?
I don't know. And the coaches are on the field. I'm not. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense on the 40. So it must have went out then.
Kohler and LaMagna wanted to get an explanation. So maybe it did go out of bounds just before the invisible pylons. I mean, we have no markers here. We just have the yard lines that are on the field. At least we have that. Otherwise, we'd really have a challenge on our hands.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway,
at a disadvantage.
So 1st and 10 now, as the quarterback, Rob White, has two backs behind him, and Pistolero himself. He will take the snap. He'll bounce back. He's looking. Another deep ball along the left sideline, but he throws it so far that it went past the Garden State Parkway, incomplete. I mean, that was way over the intended receiver's head, and that was Daryl Giles, who made that incredible catch for 59 yards earlier. That was way over, as they need to be 15 feet to grab that one.
Yeah, and Giles actually had a step on Tajmir Flood out there. It was a very, very well-designed play, an option into back up, and he tried to hit his receiver, but they're definitely taking their shots early in this football game.
Well, they're trying to do it, but at the moment it is 21-0 Storm, and unfortunately, if they're going to try and get back into this game, they're going to need a couple connections and get themselves on the scoreboard. Remember, they put 24 up against the Mariners last week, so they can put points up. White hands it off up the middle, and a nice run to about the 47-yard line. Good run that time by Jonathan Blackwood, who was able to make the carry, and he makes a 3rd and short now for the Longhorns.
And down 21 in this football game. There's a real big 3rd down coming up right now for the Longhorns and quarterback Rob Wright.
Larry Ford with the stop for the Storm. It'll be 3rd and 3 now from the 47 as White is in the shotgun this time, and Miles now will be lining up to the right-hand side, so there's going to be 4 receivers. Whoops! And the official said, you know what, I got to put some yellow on the field. So flags are down, and this is going to be a false start against the Longhorns. So much for 3rd and short. Now they got a 3rd and 8 to deal with.
Yeah, and a huge 3rd down opportunity there. 5 yards in the wrong direction is definitely not something that you want to have on your side.
Indeed so. Remember, you can keep checking in if you're listening to our broadcast. Go to Facebook and hashtag Storm Radio, all one word, and we'll shout you out again, hashtag Storm Radio, and we'll certainly shout you out like we have a couple of people already here this evening. It is 3rd, and we're going to say 9 now from the 41-yard line. It'll be White at the quarterback, 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Single setback is Blackwood, and here's the snap on a rush and a blitz. Getting by is White, who will throw up the middle of the pass, caught by Miles into Storm territory, and that's going to be a 1st down at about the 46-yard line. So a good play by White to avoid the sack. I mean, charging at him, I believe was Kuz. I don't know if it was Kuzer or Joe Davis was after him. I thought it was 44 from the way it looked. But anyway, still a 15-yard gain. A good play for the Longhorns on a 1st down.
Yeah, Rob Wright, the quarterback number 6 there, showed a ton of athleticism, spinning off of the sack that it would have been by 6 Joe Davis, the outside linebacker, and found looks like his favorite wide receiver, number 19. That's a huge 1st down 21 in the 2nd quarter for the Longhorns.
And it will be 1st and 10 now for the Longhorns. They've shown they've been able to move the ball. I mean, all you have to do is keep trying, and eventually they'll hit pay dirt, but I guess time's a wasting if they're going to stay in this game down 21-0. Whoops! On 1st down, play doesn't happen as somebody jumps. I'm guessing it might be another false start, and that'll be the 2nd one on this drive, and indeed it is. False start against the Longhorns. Back them up 5 yards, and it's 1st and 15.
And it looks like they keep trying to hurt themselves, obviously not on purpose. They pick up a huge play, and then it looks like they shoot themselves in the foot and then pick up another 5-yard penalty there on 1st down.
Wouldn't that hurt?
Very much so.
I mean, come on, we can't do a Plaxico play-by-play here if you think about it. But anyway, it is 1st and 15 now from the looks like the midfield stripe, and White once again has Blackwood in right next to him on his right. They're going to line up 4 receivers, 3 to the left, so they're going to go into the Storm playbook and the way they line up their receivers. But we'll see what happens as White in the shotgun, waiting, taking the snap, delayed handoff. No, it's going to be a fake, and a pass is thrown, and was it caught? Evidently not. Incomplete. It went through the hands of Donnell Williams, the intended receiver on the far side, and he was wide open. But once again, White threw way too hard and not a spot where Donnell could catch the ball.
And coming into this game, I was told, and from I saw from the stats, they're a run-heavy type football team, but they're really trying to air it out here against the Storm defense.
And right now, the Storm defense, I mean, they're a little bit on their heels, but obviously not in major attack mode. And I guess being up 21-0, you kind of reserve it a little bit for possibly later if you need it, which is understandable, but you just got to keep yourself mentally smart. 2nd and 15 now from about the midfield stripe. Once again, Blackwood aligns to the right of White in the shotgun, who takes the snap, bobbles it. We'll have to pick it up. The ball continues to fall loose. Who recovers it? The Storm say they do. We'll see. The Storm say they have it, but I think the officials say otherwise, as the Longhorns did recover, just barely. I think falling on that was Blackwood, but that's going to be a loss of about 7 on the play. A bad snap, and once again the center just has not been helping out the lines for the Longhorns tonight.
And I'm surprised they got that back. It looked like once Rob Wright dropped it, he was just trying to pick it up and make a play instead of jumping on it. So fortunately for the Longhorns, they've shot on 3rd and long here.
All right, so it's going to be 3rd and quite long. 3rd and about, we'll say, about 21. Ball spot at the 44-yard line, and White will be in the shotgun. This is a big play, and I know it's 3rd and quite long, but this is going to be one of those plays where they're going to need to connect. They got another receiver in Fred Caffey. 4 receivers, 3 to the left, and Blackwood to the right of Rob White, who will take the snap. He goes back, has some time, looking, throws one to the left, and again, way too hard, incomplete, intent for Donnell Williams. I mean, he is throwing some darts, but evidently those darts are just flying out of his hands, and it's just been too hot to handle, and once again, the Longhorns will have to punt. Well, we'll see if they punt.
And Rob Wright is showing some flashes of great throws and then some that are not so great. And in my opinion, if they picked that up there maybe half the distance, it would have been 2-down territory. But watch for the long snapper to have some troubles. Obviously, last time they were on the field, Mike Kuzer ended up blocking a punt for a touchdown.
We got Angela checking in from Maine, actually, who's listening to this broadcast of Lehigh Valley Storm football. So crazy shouts to Angela. Also, Daniel's checking in as well. So crazy shouts to him also. Glad you can join us. So now the Longhorns will punt, and it looks like their kicker, which I can't find, it says Altariq Tisdale, I think. We'll have to double check. He does take the snap, and the punt is away, and it's going to be a low bounce into the breadbasket. Yusuf Reddick, who drops it, but then picks it back up at about the 20-yard line, spins out of a tackle, but he's not going to return it very far. He'll get it to about maybe the 22-yard line, so not much return for Reddick, but nonetheless, it was still, we'll say, maybe a 38-yard punt, a 4-yard return.
Yeah, and this defense that loves to create turnovers for the Longhorns, I'm not gonna jinx it, but they definitely on this drive are going to try and maybe pick one off or try and force a turnover and get their offense in better field position than they've had so far during this game.
All right, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Storm, and the ball be spotted, I believe, at about the 21-yard line. So it wasn't too much of a return for Reddick, but the Storm at least have a good field to drive on. They're up 21-0, so they might be able to work a little bit more on the running game. Raheem Ridley is in there now with Jimmy LeHue. Once again, we're broadcasting from the opposite 10-yard line, so very hard to see from the front row of the bleachers. So really our best action will be from like 30 on in. So just bear with us if we end up missing a couple of things. In the shotgun is Jimmy LeHue. He'll take the snap. He's going back looking. He'll throw right, and oh my goodness, right there, and incomplete. A pass to Justin Thomas, who was running an inner slant, and there looked to be nobody within 5 yards of him. If he catches it, that's a long gain and possibly a 79-yard touchdown, but not to be.
It was a good strike by LeHue, but Justin Thomas, number 12, the wide receiver there, just didn't turn his head around in time. He could have still been running right now, maybe, if he did, but it's good to see that LeHue's back on his game and throwing some good balls out there.
All right, 2nd and 10 from the 21-yard line. Storm with a 21-0 lead. 2 touchdown passes for Jimmy LeHue in this game. 1 to Reddick, 1 to Gordon. Here's a handoff, and that's Raheem. It looks like Ridley's going to run left side, crossing the 30, crossing nearly the 40, maybe the 42-yard line. That's a 21-yarder for Ridley. Storm going to move the chains. A nice run around the left side on a sweep, and Ridley able to get some good yardage. 2nd double-digit yardage play for him.
Great job by 77 Zach Yankovic, sealing off the defensive end and giving Raheem Ridley the edge on that big pickup.
1st and 10 now for the Storm. Will the ball be spotted about the 42-yard line? LeHue, a high snap. He's going to take it himself and run it. Has a hole crossing midfield. Look at this. He's acting like Michael Vick in his prime. He'll get to the 40, the 30, reverse direction. Actually, he may have gone to the 33-yard line, but Jimmy LeHue was like, hey, I'll take that myself. He looked like a healthier Robert Griffin on that play. But I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a gain of 25 yards for Jimmy LeHue, who he looks like Mayers and Ridley going to be the 3rd running back.
Yeah, that's the 2nd quarterback draw that has a huge turnout so far, so this Longhorn defense is going to have to keep an eye on that for the rest of this football game.
Well, they couldn't keep an eye on it the first time, so the 2nd time worked out even bigger for them. So now, 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line of the Longhorns. LeHue in the shotgun this time. He will take a high snap, hand it off to Ridley. Ridley has a hole across the 25 to 20. Look out in the red zone. The 15, still going. The 10, the 5, open the gates! Welcome to the end zone! Raheem Ridley with a 33-yard touchdown run. I'll tell you what, after he hurt his shoulder at the end of the first half last week, he has been absolute business. The Storm now with a 4-touchdown edge.
And then also shaking up early on before, he really just runs hard, both of these guys, Mayers and Ridley. I don't know if they have a little something going who could try and run harder, but that's a great job of holding on to the football and getting into the end zone for number 29, Raheem Ridley, the power back for this Storm team.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he has over 100 yards when this game is over. I mean, he's a 15-yard run, a 22-yard run, now a 33-yard run. So he's got to be over 80 yards now. Last-second substitution in for the extra point coming up. As I'll tell you what a job by the Storm. They have really made sure they've meant business since midway 2nd quarter last week. Here's the snap, the kick on its way, the extra point. That sails through and good. And I'd say maybe 5 minutes left first half. We'll just say estimated. The Lehigh Valley Storm, my gosh, what an impressive performance. 28-0 over the New Jersey Longhorns.
And for a Longhorn defense that really loves to create turnovers and only let up 10 points per game, the Storm are really coming out here and doing exactly what their game plan was and running the ball well and just getting some big plays. And they're up 28-0 right now at half. So something to hold their heads held high compared to the first half last week.
Well, we're not quite at halftime yet, but we're
up until this point.
That's okay. I mean, I'm sure the Longhorns right now are wishing it was halftime just to regroup because, I mean, the Storm, they've had 3 offensive drives and they've scored on all 3 of them. Just to quickly recap, and just so you know, you're listening to Lehigh Valley Storm Football, of course, courtesy of lvstormfootball.com and Storm Radio and hot101.net. Just please remember that Pepsi is a proud sponsor of Lehigh Valley Storm Football. Pepsi, live for now. Remember, look for what's trending at Pepsi.com. So we're gonna see what happens here as we got somebody handing a phone to us here. But in any case, Eppelman's going to kick things off to Prelo and Williams, who are standing near the goal line. Referee blows his whistle, and we'll see how Eppelman strikes this time. Long wait for the tee here. Here he comes. Eppelman kicks it off. He's kicking off toward me, but it looks like it's going to take one bounce to get a preload about the 12. He'll run closer to the far side, look for a couple of blocks. He gets them. He'll get to about the 20-yard line, still going, and down to about the 28-yard line before being brought down by I think it was Tucker. I'm not sure, but it was number 13. But, of course, it had to be on the second page. It was Paul Bolden who brought it down. So in any case, the Storm do the job, and they force it to about the 30, and that's where the Longhorns will get underway.
Yeah, and the special teams right now for the Storm are really playing well, and it's something that they've done all season. They did a great couple kick returns, and it's third part of this game. I talked to Dan LaMagna on my show a couple weeks ago, and something that they really emphasize. So you can't just come out and play offense and defense. Special teams is that much important also.
Indeed. So now Rob White trying to make sure everything is back in order here as the Lehigh Valley Storm, they have dominated this game, leading 28-0 late here in the first half. Remember, you can check in, of course, at any time, hashtag Storm Radio on Facebook. Now, there's a pink flag down. I don't know why. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Back goes White. He's looking in trouble. Down he goes! See, we didn't call Paul Bolden's name until just a minute ago, and he heard me. I'm like, okay, can you call me again? Well, guess what? Carly Ray Jensen said it best. A 7-yard loss. He comes across and gets by the offensive line. First sack of the day for the Storm, and a loss of 7.
Great job there by Coach Eric Landis. I had on my show this week sending the blitz, and Paul Bolden just got back there and brought the quarterback down. The Storm defense is real fired up, and Paul Bolden right now is a guy that every single game makes some big plays, and that's another one right there.
So back to the 23 go to Longhorns. It'll be 2nd and 17. Again, the ball spotted at the 23-yard line. See who lines up as a single setback next to White, who's in the shotgun. They go 4 receivers. Back goes White being blitzed. They'll throw a middle screen, and the pass is almost intercepted. And Paul Bolden was in the vicinity again. So was Keenan Walls. So was Mike Kuzer. And so were a bunch of other Storm people who nearly had an interception. And Paul Bolden decides to embarrass himself by doing some push-ups because he didn't make the catch. You're 28-0. Relax.
Yeah, he almost had a pick there after a huge sack, but he does a couple push-ups. I see that all the time. Guys make a penalty or gets a drop there, but he's looking to come out and make maybe 3 big plays in a row. Another 3rd and long situation for the Longhorns coming up.
All right, so 3rd and 17 from the 23-yard line for the Longhorns. Oh, boy. This Storm team really is fired up, and that's probably the warmth we need because it's starting to get pretty chilly out here in Roselle, New Jersey, here at Sylvester Land Field. In the shotgun is White. He'll take it. Here comes a rush. A quick screen pass. That one is caught by Donaldson. Donaldson loses the football, and I think the Storm may have recovered it. But there's a flag down, too, and one of the linesmen is holding the flag saying, well, unless it got stuck to his hand or something. And I didn't see any signal either. Pass was caught and brought down about the 26 for a 3-yard gain when the ball came out, and it is Storm football! So Donaldson had the ball and coughed it up. Storm recovered. Not sure who had it.
I know that Paul Bolden forced it. He came out and absolutely crushed the receiver.
Well, I'll tell you what, Paul Bolden, probably one of the most active men on this 3-play short drive for the Longhorns. Tell you what, the Storm are just coming through with everything and the kitchen sink. Forget but the kitchen sink. You got and the kitchen sink in this one.
Yeah, it seems like this Longhorn team maybe is stunned right now. Obviously, they need a win to get into the playoffs, but they have a couple guys also going both ways, and this Storm team is just coming out and playing great football. Huge hit by Paul Bolden.
And I'll tell you what, considering the game they're playing on the road right now, this is probably right now the best first half of the year for the Storm outside the Wolves' performance. So 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line for Jimmy LeHugh's got 4 receivers. Mayers is next to him. Mayers has the ball, goes up the middle to the 20, has a room, 15, down to about the 10. Gain of 16 for Sean Mayers. I mean, the Longhorns are trying to tackle him, but to no avail whatsoever. Tyshawn Simon with the stop at another 16 yards, and 1st and goal coming up.
And they're doing what they do best. Last series was Raheem Ridley, and this series right now, Sean Myers is starting off on the drive with a big first down run.
All right, so it will be 1st and goal as the nose of the football is touching the 10-yard line. Jimmy LeHugh going to try and make sure the Storm get more points off the turnover here. Again, Mayers to his left, 4 receivers. LeHugh back. He's going to hand it to Mayers. He'll try a sweep right. He stops, moves over, crosses the 10, and maybe gets to about the 9-yard line. That's about it. A gain of 1 on the play. And if the official can get out of the way and get the guy's number, tackled by David Cassie, only for about a yard, 2nd and goal from the 9.
Yeah, and a good job by this Longhorn defense, just flying to the ball and trying to stop Sean Myers before he really just starts going.
Actually, they're going to say no gain on the play, but hey, so be it. 2nd and goal from the 10. Again, 4 receivers. In the game now for the Storm is Art Sanders to the right, so the Storm using all their personnel up 28-0 here. Lehigh in the shotgun, waiting, takes a snap. He's looking, throws at the middle, passes, caught by Michael Thomas just shy of the goal line. He goes to about the 1, but stopping the touchdown that time, Charles Givens able, it says Givens Charles on there, but we're going to say Charles Givens just for the sake of argument here. But 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line for the Storm.
And Lehigh showed his toughness there by sticking in the pocket and throwing a strike.
Let's see if he sneaks one in. 3rd and goal from the 1. Lehigh in the shotgun. Mayers to the right. Lehigh the snap. Hand off Mayers. Mayers is going to try and rush his way in. Did he get in? No, they're saying forward progress is stopped at about the half-yard line. So a gain of 1/2 of a yard. I mean, you're up 28-0. And now the officials are, we got injured, we got 2 injured players. 2 injured players now. 1 for the Storm. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute, something's going on here. Hold on a second. Oh my God. We may have a broken leg. Broken foot.
Look at his ankle.
Oh my gosh. Sean Myers may have severely injured himself.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. This could be a huge injury here for the Storm. Hang in there. Hang in there.
Wait, his whole leg came off?
Oh my gosh. Everyone from the Storm like standing about 20
I think
oh my gosh.
For a minute, definitely.
Yeah, well, we're going to hang on. You know what? This is not good. But before I tell you what's going on here, before we go for a short break here, we may be in for a little bit of a pause here. Before we go here, we're saying Sean Myers looks to be. No, it's not Myers. Who is it then?
I don't know.
Do we know? Is it one of the linemen?
You got a number? I don't know.
All right. We had no idea, but we know it's one of the Storm players. So while we find 66, okay, we'll try and get more confirmation. Here's what we're going to do, folks. There's going to be a delay because the injury looks serious. So the score right now, the Storm lead 28-0 over the New Jersey Longhorns. Let's go to some music for a few moments, and then we'll come back when we get closer to what's going on.
Edgar.
Oh, Edgar? Okay. Jimmy Lee, he was saying Edgar's the one who's down, but we'll try and get more details as we go along. Once again, we're going to take a short break until we figure the injury out. It's a Storm 28, the Longhorns nothing. It is Storm Radio on Hot101.net, so hang with us, and we will come back shortly to give you more details as to what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. We apologize for the delay. It's your DJ Crazy Town along with JJ James Josephson here from Sylvester Land Field here in Roselle. The Lehigh Valley Storm, they lead 28-0 over the New Jersey Longhorns. Unfortunately, the reason for a delay, and here is Edgar Rodriguez being carted off after suffering a serious leg injury on the last play, and he's being wheeled to get medical attention now. This happened on a 3rd and goal, and where a pass slant was caught by Michael Thomas, but at the end of the play, supposedly Rodriguez fell very awkwardly on his leg. We are not sure exactly what the extent of the injury is. We're hearing reports of broken ankle, but we do not know right now. The only thing we can do is just kind of stay tuned, and JJ will kind of update things on Monday on his show. Just to recap how things have been, the Storm, they got 2 touchdown passes, one to Yusuf Reddick, one to Devon Gordon, a block punt for a touchdown by Mike Kuzer, and then Raheem Ridley, a 33-yard touchdown run. That's been the scoring of this game. So now the Storm are going to go for it on 4th and goal from about the 1.5-yard line. Let's see if LeHue sneaks. He does, and he will fall in. Yes, indeed. Welcome to the end zone. So Jimmy LeHue does get his rushing touchdown after all. But the Storm now with a 34-0 lead. You know, it's very hard to get back into mental condition for a game after seeing such an injury like that. So, but now wait a minute. Hold on a second. Is there another? Yeah. There's another player down. And it's a member of the Storm again. Now what's going on? All of a sudden, we're getting the bizarre files coming out here from Roselle. I mean, what exactly is going on?
I mean, what happened?
I mean, I'm not sure what happened, but there's a Storm player down. You mean Robinson's down?
I mean, they're calling him back.
Hold on a second.
Call him back. They gotta take care of him.
Well, they gotta get a second guy. I mean, the police are still there. So I don't even know what's going on here. Orrin Marshman is yelling at his players for something. But now, another injury to the Storm on back-to-back plays. I have never seen anything like this in my announcing life. And the Lehigh Valley Storm, who had everything going for them with a 28-0 lead, now find themselves on back-to-back plays losing linemen.
Yeah, and Floodgate got injured early on in the game also, so it's, they need to get out of this game alive and healthy.
Well, healthy obviously is now out of the woodworks here, but this is something becoming very, very concerning. I mean, Coach Kohler and the other coaching staff is around. We have, I believe, Brian Arroyo who's checking things out right now. And yeah, it is number 98, James Robinson, 96 rather, and he, oh goodness gracious, he's having a hard time putting his weight on his leg. He gets extra on the offensive line. Thankfully, the injury does not appear to be as serious as the other injury to Edgar Rodriguez, the offensive lineman who suffered that leg injury, and that's all we know. We're not sure the extent of the injury, except he's right now being taken by medical staff, I'm sure, to a local facility to have him checked out. So I'll tell you, this has been one of the most bizarre sequences that we have broadcast, or at least I have broadcast in my years. Now, the Lehigh Valley Storm, now they're going to call timeout. We're going to try and sort this out. Now, while we have a moment, I'm not going to wait till a 2-minute warning for this. I'll just say that this copyrighted broadcast is being presented by authority of Major League Football in conjunction with the Lehigh Valley Storm, who have derived approval to the announcers of this game. It's intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience and may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or disseminated in any form without express written consent. This includes all accounts and descriptions given in tonight's game. The Storm and Major League Football would like to thank you all for your continued support. We're hoping you're enjoying today's broadcast. Outside of the injuries, the Storm lead 34-0 over the New Jersey Longhorns. By the way, the game is the property of Major League Football, the Lehigh Valley Storm, and the New Jersey Longhorns, with all rights this broadcast reserved under international conventions. So, in a very strange way, the Lehigh Valley Storm have had the last 15 seconds go about 25 minutes. But that's because of two injuries, and now, wait a minute. Wait a minute, now the Storm are arguing that it was a touchdown, but evidently one of the back judges saying that it was not. And Bob Kohler now is discussing with the head officials. Just what we need, more confusion here. And the last two plays have taken forever, and the way we're going, the bars might close before this game is over.
Hope not.
So evidently they're saying LeHue did not get into the end zone. So we just got mass confusion all over the place. So, evidently, well, Hugh looked to have extended himself over the line. I didn't see his knee go down, but maybe the official saw otherwise. But the Longhorns are going to get the ball 1st and 10 on the 1/3 yard line. So I guess they may have a Tony Dorsett play lined up from 30 years ago, but
that doesn't ring a bell for me.
Well, that was a Monday night game when Dallas played at Minnesota, and Tony Dorsett had a 99-yard touchdown run, but the Cowboys, I think, still lost by 10 points that game. But still, it's one of the very famous games that a Cowboy running back has. I'll tell you right now, both the Longhorns and the Storm, they're kind of laughing it up a little bit. I mean, trying to lighten the mood a little, considering 2 injuries by Storm linemen. First Edgar Rodriguez and then James Robinson, and suffering injuries on back-to-back plays. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Longhorns at the 1/3 yard line. So Brown with a snap, and it is tapped and caught. I don't know why he caught it, because it landed in the end zone for a safety. Put it this way, now I've seen everything. Brown and I'll tell you what. I'm sorry, it's Wright had the pass tapped. He caught his own pass. He gets tackled in the end zone. The Storm get 2 points out of consolation for not scoring a touchdown. And the Storm lead 30-0 over the New Jersey Longhorns. I think when the Storm head back to Allentown tonight, they're going to be putting on a lot of Looney Tunes. Because this is as loony as this is going to get.
I'm surprised. I agree. I mean, that was unbelievable. Supposed to comment. I don't know what to say.
You just did.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. So the Storm get a safety as quarterback Rob Wright threw a pass that got deflected. He ended up catching his pass. That wasn't smart. And he ends up going down halfway in the end zone, ends up getting a safety, and the Storm instead of getting 6, they get 2 after all on the next play as a consolation. I mean, 30-0 and 34-0. It's not too much of a difference, considering it's still 4 or 5 scores just to get themselves back in it. But because of the safety, now the Longhorns have to punt it, free kick it to the Storm from the 20-yard line. They can kick it off, they can punt it, they can drop kick it, they can do whatever they want to it. But wow. At this point, I'm at a loss for words as to what we've seen over the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that talk about taking a turn. That wild.
Wild isn't the word for it. This is just bizarre. I mean, maybe they're doing an X-Files thing out of Roselle, New Jersey, and they're going to do a thing for spring 2015 on Fox. I don't know. They come up with some sort of ideas for television programming. All right, but anyway, the Storm now lead 30-0 over the New Jersey Longhorns, and it will be punted away and taken by one of the upbacks at about the 40. He will cross to, we'll say, about midfield, and that's probably going to be about it. And the Storm will take over from there. That was Grady Pizarro, who was the one that was the up man who caught the short punt. I couldn't get who the person was who kicked it off. Go figure, it's the only one I don't have on the roster, but still. 99 ended up sending it over. Now, my question is, did they have the 2-minute warning already? And if they did, it might be the longest one in history.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I mean, Storm not worried about that, just looking to continue playing good offense and drive down what we thought was a short touchdown before that got taken away from them.
Wow. Well, it is what it is, but I mean, if it were 58-58 and this happened, then there'd be a lot more screaming.
Correct.
But anyway, I wonder how the final score of that game turned out, but I'll find out in a moment. Anyway, 1st and 10, the Storm will stay close to the midfield. We'll say about the 46-yard line. Lehigh will hand off to Sean Myers up the middle, and he'll go down to maybe the 39. A late flag goes down. I'm sure the Longhorns are very frustrated. It could be a late hit after which. We'll see what the officials say. It is a major face mask against the Longhorns, the second one of the night, and that's going to be 15 more yards.
Yeah, that's when you're looking for a stop there, those 15-yard major penalties are not something that you want to do, and it hurt them on the first drive of the game, and it looked like it's going to hurt them again right now.
And we have also John listening from Florida, by the way, checking us out on lvstormfootball.com and Storm Radio and hot101.net. Thank you very much for checking us out. So a 15-yard penalty added on to the end of the play. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Storm now. We'll say the Longhorn, it's going to be about the 25-yard line. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens here as the Storm are going to try and get on the board yet again before the first half is over. Remember, the Longhorns will get the ball to start the second half. Mayers to the left of Jimmy LeHue. He waits, takes a snap, and another handoff to Mayers. Mayers has a hole, crossing the 25. He's at the 20, to the 10, and down to the 7-yard line. Another 18 yards for Sean Mayers, and 1st and goal again for the Storm, brought down that time by Charles Guyvins.
And he's just running real hard tonight. Every single time he gets the ball, he's breaking a couple arm tackles and moving forward and picking up first downs.
1st and goal now from the 8-yard line. LeHue with a full-out blitz. Handoff to Mayers. Mayers gets inside the 5 as he goes up the middle to about the 4-yard line, and now the Storm will use their second time out of the half. So they're down to 1 left. Storm leading 30-0 right now over the New Jersey Longhorns very late in the first half. I think there's 15. One of the judges saying 15 seconds till halftime. So basically, the 2-minute warning was that long injury timeout.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what it ended up to be. And then right now, the past couple plays have been by number 23, Sean Myers, taking the workload right now on this drive so far.
Wow. It's been quite a game. By the way, Baylor beat TCU in college basketball 61-58.
Wow.
I'm like, what on earth is going on today? I mean, just absolutely bizarre things happening. The Storm have 1 timeout left. The Longhorns all 3. But again, 15 seconds till halftime. The Lehigh Valley Storm, a very dominant first half, albeit a couple of injuries on the side of linemen, and we'll see exactly what goes on. I don't think we're going to see James Robinson the rest of the game. We'll see how his leg injury is holding up. 2nd and goal from about the 5, inside the 5. Mayers to the right of Jimmy LeHue, lining up 4 receivers. Reddick in motion. They snap, end around to Reddick. Reddick has a 10, to the 5, a block. He dives into the green pool. Welcome to the end zone. Missed tackle that time by Craig Pitts, who just could not catch him. And Yusuf Reddick, the soldier boy, gets his 2nd touchdown, this time on the rushing end from 5 yards out. And the Storm, my goodness, it's as calm as anything, but there is a major thunderstorm on the field, and Lehigh Valley's providing it.
Number 11, Yusuf Reddick, really has been making some huge plays for the Storm in the past 2 games. He had the punt return, then the touchdown, then he also now has 2 in this game so far. He's really stepped up the past couple of games.
Back-to-back games with a pair of touchdowns. Last week on a punt return and on the receiving end. This week on the receiving end and on a rush. Epperman with the extra point. Takes a snap, kick on its way, down the pike it goes, and it is 37-0 Lehigh Valley Storm. Now, the question is, are you going to kick it off again, or are we just going to say it's halftime right here? Oh, there's good news. James Robinson back on the field for the extra point, so that's good news. He was just shaken up a little bit, and he was able to come back in. So the official's saying, okay, that's enough. Halftime it is. And I think we could use a little break ourselves. I mean, basically, we may have had 2 halves or 3 halves in this one, the way this is going. So we are done for the first half. We'll recap everything when we come back. We'll get back to more music for you guys for a few minutes, and then we'll come back for the second half. So at the end of the half, a dominant performance. The Lehigh Valley Storm 37, the New Jersey Longhorns nothing. We'll take a little bit of a snack break and come back for the second half in just a few minutes.